We will go to the next topic, classification of contracts. Earlier we saw about what are the essential elements involved in the contract. Now we will go to the next topic, which is what are the various methods or what are the various types, what are the various different categories of contracts which are in place under the Indian law of contract. And some contracts obviously are copied contracts. We say they derive the contracts from the English law. See, under English law, what happens is, as per the rule of, we call it as the rule of England or under England law, there are certain contracts which were executed. Under the Indian law, we used to derive that contract from the England law, and we also polish certain things and then we actually publish this contract. Maybe some kind of editing, cutting and those kind of things are there. So obviously these contracts do derive their sanctity under the provisions of the Parliament, as per the provisions of the relevant Indian Constitution, acts, rules, regulations, etc. Certain contracts do derive their sanctity from the English law under the rule of England, or we call it the England Court of Law, those kind of things, right? So coming to this current topic, which is the next set of topic under your CMA foundation, which is called the classification of contracts. Under the Indian law of contract, based on the classifications are generally brought into different side headings. Different side headings are there. Contracts are classified based on enforceability. Contracts are classified based on formation, the mode of formation, how they are created, the mode of formation. Enforceability means how they are readily acceptable as a form of contract under the court of law, which is enforceability. Second is formation, how they are created, how they are formed, what are the various means which are used to create the contract formation. Performance based on the parties' performance, how the parties execute the contract, the manner of execution of the contract, how the parties are willing to execute the contract, what is the performance ability of the contract, how the parties agree and jointly and willingly do the contract. That is performance based contract. Then comes obligation. Obligation is where I am supposed to fulfill my duty. That is called obligation. When you are supposed to do your duty, it is called obligation. It is imposed upon you as a responsibility to fulfill the contract. So, based on responsibility and obligation. Last is mode, M-O-D-E. Mode means the type of execution. We call it as a type of execution. This is called mode. So, these are the different side headings under which the contracts are classified. First is enforceability, second is formation, third is performance based, fourth is obligation or responsibility based, and fifth is mode or type of execution. These are the 5 important side headings. So, when you come to the side heading classification, based on enforceability, valid contract, void contract, voidable contract, unenforceable, which is not enforceable, and last is illegal contracts. And now e-contracts also come under enforceability and they also come under mode. So either of this, in whichever form you can read. In your study material is given under mode, I have put it as under enforceability because now e-contracts are now enforceable very well in the court of law. So I have kept it here. No problem, you can also read it in here also. In your material is given under mode. Okay, fine. Going to the first type of contract under enforceability is valid contract. What is valid contract? Here I wish to give you a small example in order to make you understand about the concept of valid contract. A enters into a contract with B for 1 lakh rupees worth of sale of car. A wishes to sell his car to B for 1 lakh rupees. Same example I am taking. A is ready to sell, he is selling. B is ready to purchase, he is purchasing. So A sells his car and B pays money to A. So both of them exchange their product, exchange the price, they are ready and willing to execute the contract. It is said to be valid contract. Because both the parties fulfill their respective obligation. He is supposed to sell and B is supposed to pay the price. Both of them do the respective act as per the terms agreed. Therefore, it is said to be valid contract. Both of them perform their obligation. Yes, it is valid. Void contract. What is void contract? The best example is, I am going to enter into a contract with a person less than 14 years of age. Obviously, as per Indian Majority Act, contract entered into with a minor who is less than 18 years of age. Obviously, such person is a minor. He cannot give any sanctity, legal validity to the contract. Therefore, agreement or a contract with a minor is void. So, agreement which is not capable of performance is void. Your performance is not certain, it is void. Party is not certain, it is void. Both the parties are under mutual mistake. One party is under mistake, the other party is also under mistake. So obviously the contract is not going to be executed, it is void. The price, terms, important definitions, important provisions of the contract like price, time, place, parties not defined in the contract, it is void. So when the essential elements of the contract, as I said, section 10, the 9 points which are there, all the 9 points which we discussed in the earlier topic, if it is not present, or the agreement is vitiating or suffering from any of these 9 elements not getting fulfilled, this contract becomes void. Specific. Voidable contracts. Best example is, as I said, case of free consent, there are 5 exceptions I told you, coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake. So these are the cases where party who is affected, injured party, affected party, or the party who is a sufferer can avoid the contract. The act of avoiding the contract is called voidable contract. So again, we go back to the definition of the Indian Contract Act and again make you more understanding, make the students understand the concept. The definition of a voidable contract is where the contract is voidable at the option of one or more parties, but not at the option of others is a voidable contract, right? So obviously, when one party is going to avoid the contract, but other parties do not have the option to avoid the contract, it is said to be voidable. Next topic is unenforceable contract. What do you mean by unenforceable contract? The contract itself is unenforceable, which means that it is not at all enforceable under the court of law. The reason is technical defects. Let us take the word technical defects. Example, technical defects. So, for example, the price, the party name, the buyer name, the seller name, important terms and conditions of the contract are missing. The paper is not a good quality paper. Everything which adds flavor, adds sense to the agreement. That things are called technically valid points. If these technically valid points are suffering or the agreement is suffering from such kind of defects, it is called technical defects. Obviously, technical defects would never hold the contract value that becomes unenforceable. Where the agreement is suffering from technical defects, it is not legally recognizable or acceptable by the court of law. That is why it is called unenforceable contracts. Best example is, you can also take an example like you are going to register a sale agreement. You are going to buy a property worth 2 crore rupees from Mr. A. The property is located at Nungampakkam, Chennai. But you are going to buy that property for 2 lakhs. Now you are buying the property. That person has also sold you the property. Next step, what you do? You have to go and register the property in the registration office of Tamil Nadu. Correct? If you are not able to register the property, or the property is suffering some legal defects, the ownership title is not correct, etc., etc., your registration is going to spoil. Registration is not going to be done. In that case, there is a failure of registration because the agreement is suffering from technical defects. Because the ownership is not there, the title is not correct, the patta is not in the name, etc., etc. Those are the things, right? So these are the technical defects which are there. Obviously, the court will not recognize that, and obviously, your registration will also not happen. So, where there is a need of registration, but you are not registering the agreement, it is said to be an unenforceable contract. One of the examples. Illegal contracts. A contract which is basically illegal in nature. You are not supposed to enter into an illegal contract. If you are entering into an illegal contract, but what we say in illegal contract? A contract whose primary purpose, objective, goal is illegal. Smuggling is illegal. Or kidnapping is illegal. Theft is something which is punishable. Dacoity is punishable. Killing is punishable. So those are the things which are expressly punishable, which is an act which is punishable under the Indian Penal Code, or act which is something which is not at all acceptable as per the provisions of the public policy of India. You are doing an illegal activity. Smuggling is the best example of illegal activity. So you are entering into a contract with a person for the purpose of doing a smuggling of gold and diamonds or any other biscuit, etc., from India to Sri Lanka, India to Burma, or Burma again to India, because India is involved. So in that case, the contract to do illegal acts are some of the things. So enforceability perspective. This is not enforceable, this is also not enforceable, because illegal contracts becomes void. All illegal contracts are void. Okay? Unenforceable contracts which are not enforceable in the court of law, that is why we call as unenforceable contracts. Voidable, something which is voidable at the option of one of the parties but not at the option of other is a voidable contract. Example, coercion and influence, fraud, misinterpretation, mistake. Void. The agreement with the minor, or those are the examples we already told, it is void, which is totally void altogether from the very beginning. Void. Valid means something which is validly acceptable in the court of law, which is genuine because both the parties have fulfilled their obligation, the contract is valid. So these are the 5 important classifications under the heading enforceable. Clear? We go to the next topic, formation. The mode of formation, how it is getting created. Formal contracts and simple contracts. Simple contracts we classify which is something prison contracts or parole contracts. We got as parole contract where a theft person may be allowed to come out of the jail or anything. We got as a parole. So parole contracts are something which is simple contracts. Purely related to public authorities, government authorities, prison authorities, police authorities, simple contracts. Formal contracts. Formal contracts are those which are recognizable, acceptable, legally acceptable, or put on record by the court of law or under legal authorities or disciplinary authorities or government of India, parliament, constitution, etc. What are the various governments? Contracts under seal. You are fixing the Indian seal. You are fixing the contract, putting the contract under the seal. So seal is something which is an authority which owns the document, stating the document is true, fair, correct in all the particulars. When you are affirming a seal on the document, which means that the agreement is correct. So contracts under the seal, or which has the seal. Contracts under record, police records, FIR, reports, etc. Under record. Judgments, court issues judgments, case laws, which are examples of formal. Clear? Moving to the next topic is performance-based contracts. What is performance-based contracts? There are 2 basic classifications under performance-based contract. One is executed contract, second is executory contracts. Executed contract is one where one person has already performed his obligation, the other person has also performed his obligation, similar to valid contract. It is a valid contract because A is selling his car to B is paying the price to A. Obviously, both of them executed the contract jointly. Both their obligations are fulfilled in this executed contract. Executory is one where one of the parties is fulfilling his obligation. One party perform, other party performing or underperformance or yet to perform. Other party yet to perform. Yet to perform, it is executory because it is under execution. We call it as under execution. It is also called as in progress contracts. It's a best example under executory contracts will be construction contracts, where the building owner is trying to put a contract with the building purchaser for constructing a building on a land which belongs to the party. Right? Therefore, in this case, the building or the constructor will put into a contract with the builder for building the property on the land. So builder will pay, yes, say constructor I have to pay 10 lakhs. The builder, the person is supposed to be the owner of the building, the party who is entering into the contract with the constructor, right? The party will pay to the constructor 5 lakhs for the first set of construction, 3 lakhs for the second set of construction, last 2 lakhs upon handing over of the building to the party. So it is best example is in progress contract, construction contract is example for executory contract. Executed contract, then we take the same example, A and B, sale of car, with it. Then comes obligation based, which is called purely obligation. Obligation is based on the responsibility of the parties to execute the contract, or willingness of the parties to execute the contract, or I own the ownership to execute the contract. It is an imposed duty on me to do the contract. It is an imposed duty. That is called obligation. Obligation divided into multilateral, unilateral and bilateral. Unilateral, one of the parties is supposed to execute the contract. It's called unilateral contract. Only one party is there, he is fulfilling his obligation under the contract. It's called unilateral. Unilateral. Best example would be charity kind of thing. When you are having a charity foundation, you are willing to contribute 10,000 out of your pocket for a charity. The charity owned institution needs not have to do something for you. Generally, please understand, as a part of the law, section 25, consideration, 3rd chapter in your law of contract, what happens? As I said, consideration means giving something in return. You are giving one thing, but you are supposed to get another. Then only there is a valid contract. I said it is a part of your essential element of contract. But charity is one exception, where it is a part of unilateral contract, where you see a handicapped person is not even able to walk. You are going to give 10,000 to him for purchase of handicapped equipment. That handicapped person is not duty bound to pay you something in return, because he is already suffering. You are paying, you are ready to perform your side obligation. It is not absolutely necessary for the handicapped person to pay you in return or to do something in return. So it is a unilateral contract because you are performing from your side and the other party need not perform. Best example is charity, which is always an exception to the consideration. Second is bilateral. Both the parties are willing to perform the obligation. It's a bilateral contract. Best example is executed contract and valid contract. All are examples. Unilateral is bilateral, valid, executed. Bilateral, valid and executed. All the three holds one and the same. Multilateral contract. Multilateral contract is where I am one party, Mr. B is another party, Mr. C is another party, Mr. D and E is another party. There are more than one party involved in performing the obligation. It is called a multilateral. Multilateral means multi means many. Not only one party, not only two parties, more than two parties. Multilateral contract. Multilateral performance obligation. Best example is contracts for purchase of building by NRA. NRA sponsors, there will be multiple people. For example, I may have a NRA sponsor for financing my building. One of the NRA will be in England, one of the non-resident India will be in the Australia, one of the NRA sponsor will be in Germany. So I may have multiple parties for sponsoring or funding my construction. I am going to construct, but for raising the construction fund, I have to differ about 3 or more parties. So for fund contract, I have to execute the contract with more than 2 parties. That's the best example for multilateral contract. More than one party, multilateral contract. Last part of it is mode. Mode means way of creation, way of execution, way of execution. Formation is creation, whereas mode is execution. Mode of execution, the way of execution. It is divided into two: express and implied. What is express? When you say express, express means we term it as words. WORDS, words, vartaigal, right? Words of mouth. You can pronounce through mouth, oral. You can also say oral or written. எழுத்து வடிவங்கள். You can write it and give it. Oral, written, express. Whereas implied, we can have contract based on conduct, நடத்தை. ஒருத்தரோட செயல்கள், ஒருத்தரோட behavior, conduct. And the second is circumstances, சூழ்நிலைகள், situations, conduct and circumstances. Okay, so express வார்த்தைகள், எழுத்து வடிவங்கள், written, oral, written. Implied conduct means behavior, the way of behaving in a particular situation or circumstance. Second is obviously situations and circumstances. Best example of implied contract is bus boarded by passenger. For example, there's a Pallavan Transport Corporation. The bus runs and it comes to a bus stand. People as passengers, they board the bus. You are not given any written contract by government of Tamil Nadu to board 11A, 12A, 12B bus center. You are going to a place. The bus comes and stands in a bus stop. You are supposed to board to the bus stop. So it is an implied offer by the government of Tamil Nadu to carry you from one place to another. It is an implied contract. Another example is the train contract. The express contract is your popular sale agreement. Buyer and the seller in writing terms, they enter into a sale agreement and the contracts get executed in the registry office. Best example is express. Thank you.